Shalom, my name is Sam Lim. I would like to take this time to share a short testimony with everyone. I was born and bred in Taipei and accepted Christ back in the year 1991. Grew up in a loving family, but things gone wrong after I got involved with friends that promoted bad influence and unhealthy lifestyle. Now, some might ask, you're a Christian and you come from a loving family, so what happened? It all started when I was in college, on realizing the peer pressure factor, and I started to socially abuse marijuana. That was the beginning. Besides that, I was also taking part in gambling and also drinking when I started to lose control of myself. I then started to use crystal meth, or locally known as ice, when my friend told me it was not a drug but a mere supplement that will enhance my work performance. And so, I was using it for my work as it increases my productivity, but however, as time passes by, I needed it to function. I needed it in my life and in my work. I thought I can control, but it was a lie. It was all a lie. I was controlled by the urge of wanting to use more and more. Now, was there any factor such as financial, study, or relationship that pushed me towards abusing drugs? No. I was brought up with proper care, have good financial understanding, and also even have good relationship. But however, I was a curious person, and that attracted me to the drugs when I was young, not knowing what I was getting myself involved in. Thought I could control it, but it was the other way around. It felt good and it felt confident after using the drugs, and I was drawn more into it as time passes by. My go-to drug has always been a stimulant. For example, crystal meth or ice, or yaba, or locally known as pil kuda. Now, these stimulants enhances my senses and my capabilities, and at times makes me able to think out of the box and be daring and pretty much be able to do whatever I want. At one point, when I was doing some cyber cafes, setting up things that would need a week to 2 weeks to settle, I done it in 3 days. Of course, that was because I did not sleep, I did not eat, and I was just focusing on doing those computers when I was on ice. But what I didn't know was that it was eating me up from the inside out. So how do I feel when I was using drugs? Trust me, drugs makes people feel good. I felt good. That is why it is so addictive. Now, not only does it make you feel good physically, but more towards how we feel from the inside. And that is why we are so drawn to it. Now, when a person stops using, it's not just mere physical withdrawal, but it's also emotional and mental as well. There will always be that feeling of rindu, perasaan rindu, and missing how it feels when we were using, subtly without realizing that we are craving for it. But it's not just about the addiction that I suffer from. After a long time of usage, I began to withdraw myself from my family, my relatives, and friends. And because of my action, even my family withdrew from the people around them, fearing that people might ask, what is happening to Sam? I lost the interest of joining any family social gathering and was not even bothered about it. All I could think of and wanting to do is how to satisfy my cravings and to do things that I like, even though I know that it wasn't good. While I was using drugs, I still attend church. I still live a life as if it was nothing, as if it was okay. But however, I live my life as if God is not there. Now, not only does it affect my relationship, it affected my health as well. As time passes by, I began to suffer mentally. And at one point, I was having depression. I was being delusional. I was having suicidal ideation due to the inability to stop using drugs, and I hallucinate, hearing and seeing things that are not there, especially hearing the light bulbs and the walls talking to me, and it is crazy. But I thank God that the condition was not permanent and can be made better through the help of the professionals and from the care from the people around us as well. Now, I finally got help after struggling with it, thinking I could stop using by myself. I couldn't. My father found my drug paraphernalia. My parents and church members advised me to get help, but I was unwilling, thinking that I was not a hardcore addict, thinking that things can be better if I do it by myself. After 6 months of trying, after selling off all of my things, my property, I finally realized I couldn't do it. I can't do it by myself. And I went to rehab called Christian Care Center. I've had enough of making wrong choices and decisions for myself for such a long time. Fast forward 3.5 years later, I completed the rehabilitation program and I stayed back to help with the work at the center before I was offered a job at Malaysiancare.